We went to this little church, and they don't have an altar call. It's just everybody knows they have the right to come to the altar and pray to God. And in my head is of this godly woman. I couldn't tell you if she's beautiful physically. I don't remember that part. I remember she's the most beautiful, godly woman in the sense of what she was doing. As she was leading her two, I believe, twin girls, probably 2, 3, 4 years old, to the altar. She led them to the altar. She knelt. They knelt. She bowed. They bowed. I'm sure they knew that they were to pray at that time, as their mother certainly was teaching them. She had to sacrifice so much, but she knew that was the role that God gave her, to sacrifice of her life. And that was just a demonstration of her love toward them in a godly way. I'm going to tell you, Hollywood puts out images all the time. There's nothing that Hollywood ever put out that remotely comes close to seeing the love of that godly woman leading those children. What's it really mean to sacrifice? What's that word mean? Webster's means an act of offering to deity something precious, something given up or lost, to suffer loss of, give up, renounce. Jesus gave up his position in heaven, took on the image of man and came here, gave up his life for you and for me. Now that's love. His life was a sacrifice to God for all of those who want forgiveness of their sins. His blood flows so you have the opportunity to be carried all the way back to heaven in it. We are to give up our life, physically, our time, and maybe even to death. We are to give up to others as a sacrifice so they might find the faith in God to be saved, to be reborn. It's an act of love. The words are beautiful. I love you. But in the act of love, the act of the sacrificial love, that's the real meaning. To tell somebody you love them is wonderful. To show them you love them is life-changing. Not only for the person saying it, but the person receiving it. To love someone is to be willing to sacrifice for the good of others. To love sacrificially is to put them first. That's unheard of in this world. To put their needs, their wants, their desires before yours. To give up of your time and your desires so they can see you giving to them the actions of the sacrificial love. In John chapter 15, verses 13, Jesus said, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." You see, folks, love is not an emotional feeling. It's an act of giving. And giving sacrificially as God shows us. God sacrificed his Son for us. He gave up himself for us so that we could live, didn't he? We are to show the love of God, the sacrificial love of God, by giving up ourselves to others so others can live, just as Jesus did. In our time, in taking time to pray for somebody, taking time to give of your life to somebody. Even ultimately, step in front of the bullet for that person. To give up your life so they can live. It's all inclusive of the sacrificial of love. On this special day, on Mother's Day, the day of love, let us start right now in our heart. Let us go out and show the lost world. That's where we need to go. We find love and support within each other. We're here in the presence of God. How many people are out there that do not understand love, that never have been loved by somebody the way they needed to perceive it? It's our responsibility to take this love of God into that lost world, showing them that. And no better example than the example of a mother to do that. We need to celebrate the circle of love every Sunday, every day of the week, every day of the year, so that we can be inclusive of everybody that lives on this planet. I wish you all love. I wish you the heart to show the love of Jesus to others as God has shown love to you. It's a special day. Celebrate it. Let us pray.